Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's...
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the New Orleans Saints. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Throwing on first down is Carr. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the play. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Carr to throw on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a play fake here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw
Still
it,
second down.
You know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Again, it's Carr. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He'll get it up the middle. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Carr now on 3rd and goal. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, the spin. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Completes it to Austin. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. They want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he spins past him and into space. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On 1st and 10, Wall. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. To throw on 3rd down. Ball. Looking for Austin. Intercepted. Picked up near the 42. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Now, you ready?
Shotgun now for Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy, most likely, to bring him down. That was a nice game.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. And they'll go on the ground. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit of...
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. First quarter touchdown run. Remember this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. It was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here?
The big bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
So off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award number 2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Carr. Left side complete, Safarian-Jenkins. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the...
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. To throw is Carr. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And this will be taken at the 13. Spinning away. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. And now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 45. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms?
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And it's never going to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, Wall. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating.
And a loose football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Following the fumble recovery, Wall. Left side, it's complete. He had over 100 catches in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of this wild card game. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Lux with the extra point. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game. But just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Now Carr throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Carr to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. 49 yards. And the Cardinals are in for 6. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
Back to the air on second down. Wall. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Austin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
Throwing on 1st down. Wall. His throw caught right around the 6. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, a 22. Operating from the gun. Wall. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Hey, here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, Wall. And he's got it. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. So we come upon halftime here. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 30, 10, 5, touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. 98 yards. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
We've sat in a lot of meetings, and they always talk about the offense taking advantage of beginning a half. But special teams coaches don't listen to that. They want to take advantage with their own unit, and they just did.
Yeah, they trailed in the locker rooms, and they changed that immediately.
I think they drew that one up special. That felt like something he pulled out of his pocket that he'd been holding for a while, and they were able to use it effectively.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the overall. I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try to chip someone at the second level.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now Carr. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled. So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guy's jersey clean throughout the game.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
Green 39.
Throwing on third and long. Wall. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Cameron Jordan in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Back of the game, the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Carr. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to kick it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wall. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, nice move. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Twisting away. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 319! 319! Over!
On 1st and 10, Wall. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back near his goal line. Here's Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter, it's a good running back dive play.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
Returnable here from the 38. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Austin. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Spinning away. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I remember playing, and from the safety's perspective, when you saw a toss play and trying to see guys get to the edge and get outside, that was always a tough moment because where do you go to pick up the ball carrier? If they seal the edge and seal the perimeter, they're going to bounce that outside. It's a lot longer run, and you've got to make sure your angle is right because once they get to the edge, they're going to pick up good yardage.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. To throw on second down. Wall. And he's got him. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Carr going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Oliver. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's got his man on the out route. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness is a premium for all of that now.
Now Carr looking middle, and it's incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Carr, got to have this one. Over the middle, complete. It's Oliver. 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. So here's a big play for the Cardinals as they'll go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a two-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more two-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, now a hit and a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On first down, Wall. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs him up 5, first and 15. From the gun, it's Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Carr to throw on second down. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the fourth. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 22. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Looking to throw. Wall. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Back to throw. Wall. He finds his man. It's Austin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. There's that man again. It's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Gone! Now let's go!
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Now Carr. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll run with Foreman. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw, Carr. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like that there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. That means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on first down. Wall. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On first and 10. Wall. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. I got 83. Detroit! Detroit! 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike.
Operating from the gun. Wall. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a first down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. This to advance to the divisional round. And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So nothing of importance there, just the season on the line, and he puts it home to likely get him through to the division round.
If you're a fan, you're watching this one with your hands over your eyes. But if you're a kicker, this is what you practice for all season long. And this one was never in doubt.
One final try now for Carr. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaughan. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.
you